Hello everyone, I'm Oliver from Blendtuts.com, and this time we're going to see a little Bmesh introduction. So what is Bmesh? Because probably some of you didn't heard of it. It's kind of difficult because it has been there for several years before it has been officially introduced in the stable release of Blender. But finally here it is. And what is Bmesh? Well, Bmesh is the new modeling system that comes with Blender. Probably from the user point of view, you don't see much difference with the old one, but it has in fact a lot of difference. The main one is that the core of the modeling system has been completely rewritten. This is for having the ability of supporting n-gons. An n-gon is a polygon of more than 4 sides. As you may know, until now Blender only supported triangles and squares. From now you can use polygons of the amount of size that you want. This brought with it some kind of a debate because there was people not sure about the usability of n-gons, because actually a good model needs to have everything in probably some triangle or something, some little trick, but mainly it must be formed with squared polygons, all right, polygons of 4 sides. So allowing Blender to use more than 4 sides would be some kind of encouraging people to not use only squared polygons and to have bad topologies on their models. Well, I don't agree completely with this. In fact, a lot of people will start to make crappy models, but crappy models don't reach any place at all. If you want a good model, you will keep using 4-sided polygons, but you now have the option to use n-gons in the process of creation to help you reach a good topology, right? For me, it's like another tool that is added to our toolset for creating a good model. And we'll see in this tutorial, we'll see a lot of things like the new tools that comes with Bmesh, because Bmesh is a more powerful system for modeling than the previous one, which will allow to include a lot of new tools into Blender. Right? For now, we have things like Dissolve, the new knife, which is much more powerful than the one that was before in Blender. We have the join, we have Vertex slide, bevel. The bevel has been brought back. It's very simple for now, at least in the release, in the official release. But we're going to see it because it will be improved eventually. We have the Inset of the tool. We have the bridge, which is also pretty simple for now. But as I say, this is a first implementation of Bmesh into the trunk of Blender. So in this official release, the goal was to integrate Bmesh and that it was usable. So from now on, we will see how a lot of tools will start to be included into Blender. And finally, at the end of the tutorial, I will show you a little add-on which is called MeshLint, that allows you to check your mesh for problems, to find any n-gons, triangles, or problems in the mesh, and help you spot them to solve them. Alright, so for those people that weren't very sure about Bmesh and its usability, you can use this very useful add-on to check for your mesh for problems and solve them before sending a model without really knowing if there is some n-gon somewhere or whatever. So let's get started. So let's start with a tool that was already in Blender, but now it has a different behavior, much more useful in my opinion, which is Subdivide. We can subdivide now a face, and it will only subdivide the face that we selected, right? And we'll let the adjacent faces to be untouched. Now they are just n-gons that we can arrange their topology, but they are not automatically triangulated because Blender doesn't support n-gons, right? So now this is much useful, I think, and we will see how to solve this geometry later. right? To have this only squared four-sided polygons. So let's see some of the new tools. The knife has been completely revamped. I think that's the word. Is completely new, is much more powerful, and we activated as always with K. Alright, so now we see a little rectangle, a little square, green square, where the cut will be done. So it's snapping to vertices and it's snapping to edges, which is quite useful. So we can start from here, make a cut through here to here. We accept this with space or with enter, and we have this new cut, right? Here we have a face, a four-sided face, and here we have a four-sided face, but it's completely unnatural. So we want to solve it, and here we have a new tool. We can select two or more than two vertices and press J to join them. So now the face is separated into that edge, right? There was ways to do this previously on Blender, but I feel that this is more comfortable, right? We can do it, of course, with, if we select three like this and press join, it will be done at once. All right. Another tool is the Vertex slide, which is pretty useful also. We can call it through the menu Ctrl B and the menu for the vertices, and here we have Vertex slide, or we can just press Shift and V. Now select an edge. We need to select an edge in which we want the vertex to be slided on. So we select this one, and now we can just move the vertex into that orientation. So we can put it here without changing the orientation of these edges, which is pretty nice. We can also select another one and we'll do the same trick. We can do it whatever we want, keeping our face planar. Another of the new tools is the Inset. We can select a few faces, like these two for example. We can select them and create an inset. We can call it from Ctrl F, Inset Faces, or from W, Inset Faces. And here you can see that it created a border, some kind of border. So here in the Inset Faces options, we have several options. I recommend you to check them all to see what happens with them. But now I will keep it simple. So we can modify the thickness and also the depth to bring it outside or move it inside. This is quite useful for adding details to your models. Okay, previously we had some ways to do it, like extruding, canceling, scaling down, but as you can see, the result is not the same. This is not planar, right? And there are some ways like Alt S probably, and we'll move it up. Well, several things that are a lot of steps for doing something that can be easy now, right? We can make a selection as we want and bring in an inset like this without changing the planar faces that we had, unless we want, of course. So that's it, the Inset tool. Now we are going to try to clean this a little with the knife, right? The knife, I will show you some little tricks with the knife. We can start cutting here, 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 and here. We accept with space. Take this cut was impossible back then in Blender. Now it's possible to do it, and now we can with join to solve these problems. Now we can just subdivide this edge so we can join these ones, and we have solved the problem. In this phase we have now only squared four-sided polygons. We have moved the problem to this other phase but well, I won't keep going now because I just want to show you the functions, the new functions of Blender. So the knife, it has some things hidden, like we can make a selection. Well, let's start. Let's keep it simple. I press K to activate it. I click and drag. And you can see that it's showing us all the cuts that it will do. Alright, we can make a cut through all these faces. Press enter and you could see a cut. It will only cut in the faces that are in front of us. Alright, these ones in the back part of the model won't be cut. To make them cut, we need to select everything. Let's show you something first. Press Shift and K, and what it will do was, as you can see, only cut the selection. Alright? The thing that happens here is that for cutting the selection, it will cut all the parts of the model, the front and the back part. So let's press Shift K, let's drag it, and here we go. As you can see, it cut all the model, front and back. And finally, a little trick is to press Ctrl. Alright, if we press Ctrl while cutting, it will snap also to the middle of the edges. That's it. And the edges has been cut completely, absolutely in the center part of the edges. This is useful for some technical or mechanical modeling. Other things that this let us do. Well, we can make a cut like something like this, which is a pretty weird shape, but we can extrude it. You may be asking, but this topology is a hell. Yes, it is. But now we can start, we have our shape, the shape that we need or we want, and now we can start cleaning it as needed to have only four-sided polygons. Right, there's a lot of work here, but we can do it. Right, things like that to keep it four-sided. This is a hell, this is a mess, a completely mess, but well, you understand the point, right? You can work with n-gons without having your mesh automatically triangulated and have to delete it, recreate it again from zero. So this way I feel it's much more simpler. And finally, there is another thing, one of the most exciting tools about Bmesh, which is the dissolve tool. Let's only take this. Dissolve will take the selection and will convert it in a unique face. So we press X, and instead of deleting the faces, we press dissolve. And this will convert our selection to just one single face. Okay, and then gone. And from here we can start cleaning it up. Doesn't make much sense what I just did here, but I can show it to you here. We press dissolve, and this is a very simple operation, but well, you get the point. So we deleted all the crappy faces that we had here, and now we start working on them. So we join this, we subdivide this, and we join this other, and we quickly have converted a mess of triangles into squares. So these are the main tools of Bmesh. Now for showing you other implementations that has been done, I will create a cube and I will show you. We select an edge, and from Ctrl E we have here now the bevel option, right? And we can decide the amount of beveling that we want. We can even select more than one face, more edges, I mean. And here we go. There is an option which is called recursion, right? When you do a bevel, there is another option that is called recursion that they needed to quit in this official release, stable release, because it has several bugs that would make some users' life quite difficult. So instead of putting a buggy thing into the official release, they just quit it, but they let the basic bevel be, so we can start using it for basic stuff, right? So we can use this bevel, but eventually the recursion level will be also added back to the Blender trunk. And the recursion, what the recursion does is that if you increase the recursion, instead of only one face here, it will create two faces, three faces, or whatever, allowing you to create a curved shape here, right? And apart from this, let me just duplicate this, and I'm going to show you the last thing, which is the bridge. And the bridge, I guess it won't work at this point, and I will tell you later. So we find here the bridge two edge loops from the W menu, and exactly it doesn't work because this face here and this face here doesn't have the same amount of edges. The bridge tool, what it does is join, create a bridge. That's the definition. Just create a bridge between two faces to join them. So we will see. Okay, so I will just join this here, and I guess now it will work. So we have the same amount of faces here. We press W, bridge, and here we go. As you can see, it's very basic right now, right? And it even has a bug for now that it creates two interior faces here. But well, at least we have this functionality. It will be improved as everything for now, because the Bmesh allows to implement new and cool things. So we are going to start seeing cool things from now on into Blender modeling system. So now finally I'm going to show you the MeshLint add-on. So here I have it in the wiki of blender.org. In the extensions part, I will let a link in the Blendtuts post of this tutorial, so you can download it. And here is MeshLint, some instructions on how to use it, and some little instructions to install it. Well, not so little as I see. Well, it's very easy. You just download it from here, and you will get this MeshLint PI, which is a Python document. So from Blender, you go to the add-ons panel with Ctrl-Alt-U. You go to the add-ons tab here, and you just go to install add-on and select the add-on where you downloaded it and press install. After this, you just look here for MeshLint, which I already have installed and activated, as you can see here. So let's see how to use it once you have it installed. you go to the edit mode, and here to the mesh, in the mesh properties, I forgot the name. In the mesh properties, here on the bottom, you can see that is looking for errors in our mesh, right? We can pause checking, we can make a continuous check-in, and here it will tell how many errors we have in the mesh. As you can see, it's checking for triangles, for n-gons, for non-manifold elements. I will show you later what that is, and check interior faces. So right now you can see that our mesh is a hell, a really mess, not a mesh, which we have here a lot of exclamations. So we have one triangle, we have 6 n-gons, we have 20 non-manifold elements, wow, and we have 2 interior faces. So what can we do about this? We can tell Blender to select our lint, and here we have the errors in our mesh selected. So as you can see, here are the interior faces. Let's delete one of them, delete face, and you can see that now we only have one interior face and the non-manifold elements have been reduced. I'm going to show you now what is a non-manifold element. A non-manifold element is when more than I don't know the exact number of faces that can share the same edge, but I guess it's 2 faces. If more than 2 faces are sharing the same edge, in this case this one is doing, we have, this is an interior face and this is a non-manifold element, because it's well, I will explain you now in a better way. Let's go here, let's create a plane, let's cut it, and a non-manifold element is when we have something like this. So we have a face coming out from an edge. What happens with this, why this isn't correct at all, is because if we apply a subdivision, look at what happens. It's some kind of weird. Probably at some point we need to do something like this, or we want to, but it's not correct at all. You can see that this is not working really fine. So this is a non-manifold element. Here is what happens in the, let's imagine that this is the outside part of the mesh. So, well, this is what will happen if we have non-manifold elements. So that is why they aren't a very good option. Let's go back to the MeshLint explanation, and we go to the mesh properties, and here we have now non-manifold elements, and here, as you can see, the gray star is when we are not checking for that thing, for that lint. We have it disabled. Here you have it disabled. Now we have triangles with exclamation. This means that we have some lint in that areas, and the illuminated star is that we have no problems there, right? So if you have a mesh with all completely illuminated stars here, you have probably a hell of a mesh and not beautiful, but technically correct. So try to make it beautiful and to make it all stars here using MeshLint, and that way you will ensure that there is no n-gons in your final product, or there is no triangles or nothing. So select lint again. We have this triangle and we have these n-gons. So let's close this triangle, and I will do it like a boss, dissolving, and I solve the triangles to create more lints in n-gons. So that's not the way, but just for showing you how MeshLint works. So I think this is everything for now. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, that you understood what Bmesh brings to Blender. It's a new powerful modeling system. It just have been started. It just have been included into the Blender official release, but in the future it will bring lots of new functionalities to Blender. I'm completely sure. The first one is the bevel that was a long time awaited for the community, and well, it's finally back. It's very simple for now, but I hope it will eventually become much powerful, the same as the bridge tool and a lot of other tools that have been added for now. So this is everything for now. Happy blending, and see you on the next tutorial. Bye.